I'm David Hertz, Chairman of Worksmans. So I've been here my whole career. A little different to today's day and age, when people chop and change. Quite often, I arrived here as a candidate attorney and have moved through the ranks to the position I now occupy. Been an amazing journey, I've loved it. The building is a mixture of old and new, even though it's a new building. We wanted to celebrate our history, our present, and our future. And that's the theme that runs through this building. So if you go outside and you look at the building, the base looks like an old English courthouse, which is significant because we're a law firm. And in fact, that's exactly what it looked like, with pillars and granite. That is the base. And the glass rising from that base is the future. So it's the future rising up from a foundation of stone and granite. That is the theme of this building. So we promote South African young artists alongside English, old Eurocentric art. So that is the present and the future. If you go to our reception in Sandton, you will see probably works by probably the most well-known young South African artist, Nelson Makamo. Now, he's an amazing guy. He was featured on the front cover of Time magazine, and his works grace Oprah Winfrey's collections and people of her ilk. We represented him and still do, and we told him we wanted art that supported the message, and he did present and future. And those pictures grace a wall with 300 others. We try to create a welcoming space for the people that work here and for the clients who support us. Our culture is underpinned by the passion that people feel for the business and the brand. People across our entire environment, and not just the lawyers, strive to be better. We're here because we have a team. That tells me that our culture and our people are like no other. What I have tried to do, and I believe achieved, is to create an environment where people matter and where the concept of a worksman's family is real. The people matter certainly to me, in a way that can be lost in an organization of our size and bigger. I think that is the key theme that runs through the firm. And the second is that we recognize we are not all things to all people. We deal here with what I like to colloquially refer to as matters that matter. And if it matters to you, it'll matter to us, but these are significant matters that change the South African legal landscape. South Africa went through a stage within the legal fraternity that it was felt that you had to tie with an international law firm. And there are many international law firms here. But the major firms within this country have ultimately chosen to remain independent, recognizing that this market is big enough for us to service, and to be fair, being able to choose our own path. We're proudly South African, and we have been. So we never contemplated tying up from an international perspective, but we have incredible relationships with international firms, and our professionals in fact go overseas from time to time on secondment to major firms around the world, and they gain an experience of what it's like to operate within those jurisdictions, and they go to the best international law firms in the world. There's not one right model, but ours was to be proudly South African and independent, and it's worked for us. We have built an alliance called Lex Africa, where we're in more than 20 African countries. So if South Africans or international clients or law firms require us to work with them in a jurisdiction, we do so, or armed with relationships built over 2 decades, we refer them directly. We are able to give legal solutions to issues, whether they be commercial or dispute resolution orientated, throughout Africa. So that's something that we do, but we remain firmly ensconced in this jurisdiction. Honesty, non-negotiable. Integrity, passion, commitment, hard work. Those are the values that underpin this firm. Also intelligence. You don't have to be an academic genius, but you've got to be smart, because that's why our clients seek us out, finding solutions for their most complex problems, which we are only able to do because of a combination of those attributes. So the proudest moment of my tenure as a chairman was undoubtedly the manner in which this firm navigated the pandemic, which to me represented an existential threat to this firm. I wasn't sure that any corporate would survive on day one, and we not only survived, but we thrived. And that speaks to the sustainability of this business and our people working together and what can be achieved. As we say fondly at this firm, making the impossible possible. And that is exactly what we did. That is undoubtedly my proudest moment. But we have been, as it were, on the ground for two reasons: for each other, and that is most important, obviously for the clients. We recognized that it was very difficult for people to be isolated and alone for this length of time. There is no firm like Worksman's. There is only one Worksman's. And they can look forward to an incredibly rewarding and exciting career. We're at the forefront in everything within the legal fraternity of what happens in the legal world in South Africa. There's no question. I always say, read the front page of the financial publications, and the matters that are reported on, whether they be transactional or otherwise, are matters that Worksman's invariably has an involvement with. And if that's where you want to be, at the cutting edge of the legal profession, then this is where you've got to come. I have an incredibly supportive wife. She doesn't know it, but she loves me. We've been together, married now for over 30 years. It aligns with the period of time I've been at Worksman's, and 3 fantastic kids who are all women who are following their own career paths. I love writing. I keep a journal. I have for the last 25 years of the events which shaped my life. And ultimately, I love engaging with people generally because they fascinate me and they have so much to offer. If you had to say what is my strength, it is people and my ability to engage with them, the interpersonal relationships I build up, which form a foundation stone of this firm. It stood this firm and me in good stead. Yeah, I've got 2 pieces of advice. Number 1, be the best you can be. If you think being okay and ordinary and just getting through is going to be good enough to walk into places like Worksman's, it isn't. It doesn't mean you have to be an academic genius, but be the best person you can be. And secondly, when you arrive, realize you're not the chairman. You need to work your way up. So don't arrive here with delusions of grandeur. Please don't, because it takes time to rise. People who are out there, who are aspirational and want to, can I say, be part of this incredible firm, and wonder whether it's beyond them, wonder is it achievable? The answer is it is. I have seen and watched the growth and development of individuals who have had the most humble beginnings rise to the top of the ranks within this environment. There is no reason that a candidate who has the right mindset, commitment, passion, intelligence, desire can't be sitting here in 20 years' time. No reason at all. There is no barrier to entry. Limited numbers maybe. Can't take every law student, but no barrier to entry whatsoever. I went to a wedding of one of my partners in Mount Fletcher, which I think is in the northern Eastern Cape. And I went to the village for the traditional wedding. And I looked at where that partner has risen to. Don't tell me that anyone can't do that. I looked at the beginnings and I said to myself, the journey that they've been on is incredible. So too, anybody else in this country can do the same thing. And that is an embodiment of what I've said about the ability to rise. And we'll help you rise because we benefit from your success, no question. That's the message.